It's not what you see, but yet how you see what you see. Now, my giant, and any giant, could be a person, a place, or thing. So it's technically a noun. Your giant's a person, place, or things. Now, I know, just like you, well, now I'm not even going to speak for you. I'm just going to speak for myself. But I've met some giants in my life. And I'm assuming that you have too. And when you meet your giant, it makes you kind of feel small and weak. It makes you kind of feel insignificant. It makes you feel like, the whole world is coming against you. Some of us live with hostile giants every day. And we look at them the same way that Israel looked at the Philistines during the battle. Now, I'm not saying that your giants is your wife or your husband, and I'm not saying that your giants are teenagers, or your teenagers, your giants are can be your parents, but sometimes you probably look at them like they're your giants. But what I'm talking about is here is those things that you come up every day with, those giants that come into your life that loom around you, that never want to move, and their sole purpose is to take control of your emotions. The giant's sole purpose is to take control of your thoughts. The giant's sole purpose is to have dominion over you. That's their sole purpose. So when the giants come into your life, they come in daily, day by day. And if you're looking at them one way, and not how God intended you to look at them, they'll continue to stay in your life. Amen? Amen. So the real question is, how do you see your giants? When they standing on that hillside, just like Goliath did, and he's standing 9 foot tall, and he's taunting you, how do you view him? Is he like an insurmountable obstacle? Or is he an opportunity for God to be revealed?
Come on.
Now, we can't avoid giants. And the truth of the matter is, giants are necessary for our lives as kingdom citizens. Giants are necessary in our lives as kingdom citizens. Sometimes giants may be finances. Sometimes giants could be your disease. Sometimes your giants could be depression. Sometimes your giants could be abandonment. Your giants can be fear. Your giants can be addictions. Your giants can be a number of things. But one thing that all giants have in common, no matter which giants is, they have one thing, second to death in your life, is to actually have dominion over you. That's their sole purpose, is to have dominion over you. Now, if we get that in mind, second than death, that's all they want to do. They want to control everything in our life so that we can die. Now, the question is, do you hear your giants yelling, come on out and fight me? Do you hear your giants talking about, come on out and fight me? Come on. But here's the good news. This is the beautiful news right here. Every giant was divinely assigned. Every giant was divinely assigned to our lives for God to get the glory. Think about it. When Joseph was put in the pit, he had a divine assignment, right? But we didn't see it until his lift driver came, picked him up, and took him to the palace. We didn't notice it, right? Daniel had a divine assignment when he was put in the lion's den, right? King said, don't eat the king's meat. Oh, they ate it. They did what they did. They put him inside the den. But he had a divine assignment. Shut the lion's mouth up. Amen? When you think about it, they were divine assignments placed there by God. So, what makes you think that we're going to walk through life without having a giant to face? Amen. Jesus himself said in Luke 4:13, when the devil had finished tempting Jesus, he left until the next opportunity came. That's the New Living Translation. So, sometimes we're dealing with one giant. And that's a beautiful thing if you're dealing with one giant. But most adults are dealing with a plethora of giants. We got giants in our home, we got giants on our job, we got giants in the street, we got giants when we're driving our car. We're dealing with giants every day. Am I right, Bill? So, if you're dealing with one giant, give yourself a hand. And kids, if you ain't had a giant yet, you will get one, I promise you. And then when you realize that it's a giant in your life, you got to understand that God put him in your life for that reason, so he can get the glory. Amen? Now, if you're taking notes, my first point. Oh, I ain't got no problem. I looked it up. My first point. To defeat your giant, you must need a kingdom perspective. Yes. I want you to repeat that. So, to defeat my giant, I need a kingdom perspective. to defeat my giant, I need a kingdom perspective. From a natural perspective, Goliath was quite a man. He was a specimen. He stood 9 feet tall, his armor weighed 125 pounds, and his spear alone was 15 pounds. I couldn't imagine when he walked down that hill that day with the sun to his back and the sun beaming off of his armor, what the people, what the Israelites saw. They saw this man that was so massive that they just thought they couldn't beat him. Now, when you think about it, Mr. Evan, when you think about it, God tells us we shouldn't live by sight. Amen? So this is what when I ask for analogy, God gave me this. He said sometimes we'll sit around as kingdom citizens and our perspective is wrong. These are reading glasses. He said sometimes we're magnifying a problem, but we're not magnifying our God. Sometimes we're too busy facing down and not looking from the hill which cometh our help. Sometimes our finances is looking bad and we're constantly looking at our checkbook, but sometimes we don't look up at God and say he owns a cattle on 1,000 hills. Sometimes we're so focused in magnifying the issue that God said you're looking at the wrong thing and you haven't magnified your God yet as opposed to magnifying your problem. Sometimes our giants, and we want to dress them up so people on the outside don't realize that we're going through something. You figure if I make it look good and make it sound good and dress it up properly, that we don't know that we're dealing with an issue. Am I right, Mr. Hud? You figure if I'm walking around and giant is tapping on my back door, just nibbling at my ears, but I'm saying I look good in here, and guess what? The body of Christ ain't gonna know what's going on because I look good at it, right? Sometimes we want to put on blinders to what's going on around us. Sometimes we just want to figure out, hey, listen, if I don't see it, they won't see me. And if I don't deal with it, they won't deal with me. If I don't touch it, then guess what? It must not be burning in my kitchen. God is saying, listen here, just because you're acting like it ain't there, it's still there. And for those who like to play with the giants, like I'm going to call you at night, and I'm going to give you a ring, and I'm going to touch you because I like playing with you, but every once in a while, I think that, you know, if I play with it enough, it ain't going to touch me. I'll just keep it at a bay. But God said, no, you keep playing with your giant, it's going to take you and your family out of position. That's what God is saying. Change your perspective. Magnify me and not your issue. Magnify me and not your giants, because understanding I put your giants in place for you to be, for me to get the glory. For me to get the glory. Glory to God. That's what God is saying. Like I said, I'm only talking with the real people here. If you ain't having no giants, I'm not talking to you. If you don't have a giant, I'm not talking to you. But I'm talking about the ones who the giants made you run into your knees and get into that closet and talk to your God and run to his arms like, listen, I want my relationship, God, and I know I messed up, but Lord, I need this. I need this. I'm running to you right now. They're the real ones. When we see by sight only, we quit just at near sight. When we see by sight only, we quit at just near sight. Somebody might want to write this down. If all you see is what you see, then you don't see that there is all to be seen. When all you see is what you see, then you don't see all there is to be seen. 2 Kings 6:17, and Elisha prayed for him and said, Lord, open up his eyes that he may see. Lord, open his eyes. I translate it as, Lord, give him perspective that there's more of those who are with us than those who are against us. Give him perspective, because all he sees is I'm in the valley, and Lord, my finances are stuck. Lord, I'm in the valley, but all I see is them coming at me. Lord, I'm in the valley, but I can't see. I know I messed up a relationship, but Lord, I'm in this valley. He says, give him perspective, because there are those who are with them, then there are those who are against them. There's more. Amen? And here go the real tragedy. If you have the wrong perspective, oftentimes, as Christians, we will take our defeated attitude and put it on somebody else. Don't you know that? That bothers me so much. Just as a kingdom child, we could be sitting here talking, and you get the woe is me, and I'm like, Lord, where is your kingdom language? Where is your kingdom language? Moses, when you think about it, when he sent out 12 spies in number 13, he says, hey, go spy out that land and come back and tell us, The other one said, well, woe is us, how small we are. They are so much bigger than we are. And what did they do to everybody else in the camp? Put their defeated attitude on them after it was already spoken that you shall have that land. After it was already spoken that you shall have this land. Amen? The story goes, we know the story. Goliath challenged Israel to a representative battle. Their champion against your champion against my champion. And sometimes just even that fact alone, we don't even show up to fight. We don't even show up to fight. You in war and you didn't even show up to fight. You in a battle and you didn't show up to fight. Your kids come home and they tell you that the day is going bad and the school is crazy and all the stuff that's going on. You just sitting there listening. Oh, okay, thank you for letting me know about your day. That was a war cry. You didn't even come up there and show up for battle. Your wife come home and tell you how the day went and such and things, and you think she just emoting. And at that point she says, I need, and then the spiritual ear she tells you, I need prayer. You didn't come to battle. You didn't come to battle. Sometimes I don't need an explanation. Sometimes I don't need results. Sometimes I just need you to pray. And that's a battle right there. Sometimes we don't just show up to battle. Verse 8, he says, and he stood and cried out, the armies of Israel said unto them, Why are ye come out to set your battle in array? Am I not a Philistine? And ye servants of Saul, choose you a man and let him come down and fight me. Here go the good news in that chapter, that verse right there. Your giants don't even know who you are. Look what he called them. He said, aren't you the armies of Saul? Look at that. He didn't say the armies of the living God. He called you the armies of a man. In his mind already, he don't even know who you are, Ted. If the giants would have known who you are, then he wouldn't even came to you. If the giants would have known, the Bible tells me, Paul, I know this, I know, but you, I know not. If he knew you, he wouldn't even come attempted to touch you. That's what he says to me. He says it right there. Aren't you the army of Saul? Okay, I'm just telling you what the Bible says. I'm not making nothing up. He says, in my opinion, the Israelites were already probably getting ready to learn the Philistines' dialect. Hey man, we sitting here, we didn't come to battle. They know who we are, and they already deflated themselves. They already saying, you're the army of Saul. They don't even know who they are. And he says, Goliath was one single problem. One single problem. One single solitary problem defeated their whole army. One single, you missed the glory right there. One single problem can move you out of your purpose. One single problem, giant, can move you from your destiny. One single giant can just actually defeat you and your whole family just because you didn't show up to battle. One single problem. It robbed them from their destiny. One single problem. One single problem basically shut down a whole army. I know back in the day, if I couldn't beat you, I know what I did. I went and got my brothers, I went and got my cousins, and I know one sucker punched you, one was taking your knees out, and the other one was but no, they didn't even do that. They didn't even jump, they didn't roll them. They didn't do that. They just sat there and cried amongst themselves. Say divine assignment. David was on a mission to bring his brothers some cheese. Verse 15 through 18, right? He says, but David, he said, when he returned from Saul to feed his father's sheep in Bethlehem. In verse 18 it says, and David was having a conversation with Jesse. And he said, David, man, do me a favor. I'm paraphrasing. Take your brother these cheese and these crackers and give it to the captains at the camp. And then basically tell me how your brothers are doing. And then come back to me, come back home. So he was on assignment, right? Think about it. Just by happenstance, David would have never saw this giant if he wasn't on assignment for God. If he wasn't on assignment by the Father, David would have never saw this giant. He would have never been at war. He would have never been at battle. So that lets me know, when I'm on assignment by the Father, I'm going to meet some giants. When I'm on assignment for the Father, I'm going to come across some giants. That's what it says. Verse 18, and carry these two cheeses and stuff to the captain's gate, and basically give me your brother's pledge. Just by happenstance, he was doing the Father's assignment, and he came across the giant. Now Goliath was taunting Israel when David came down in verse 23. He said, and as he spake with them, behold, there came the champion of the Philistines of Gath, Goliath by name, out of the armies of the Philistines, and spake according to the same words, and David heard them. The same words he'd been taught them for 40 some odd days. The same exact things. Come on out here and fight me. The same giants that you're letting terrorize your home, terrorize your personal space, terrorize your emotions, and terrorize your thoughts. He's still doing that for 40 some odd days. And the little kid comes around and he hears it. That's what it says. Exactly. Notice that the men of Israel, the Israelites, they sat around and they talked about everything that they were given, but never acted on the promise. Wow. They sat around, they knew what I was going to get. If you start that business and you work it diligently, I should prosper. We've been talking about finances, right? So that means I should be in the process of being fruitful, multiplying, and having dominion, right? If I start school, at some point, I know the end is going to come and I shall be finished, right? I graduate, I turn the tassel, and then boom, I move on, right? If I start loving my wife as Christ told me to love my wife, then that means my relationship goes to another level. I know what the destiny, I know what the definitive end is, because I'm doing what God told me to do. These guys know what the end is. If you be Goliath, I'm going to give you tax-free woman and whatever you ask for. They know this. They know this. But they all sat around. Nobody ever moved. Nobody never moved. Wrong perspective. Wrong perspective. Verse 23. Guess what? He said, and as he talked with them, behold, there came up the champion. I read that one. I'm sorry. And verse 24 and 25, he said, and all the men of Israel, when they saw the men, fled from him and was sore afraid. And the men of Israel said, have you seen this man that has come up, sure to defy Israel? Is he come up? And it shall be that the men who kill him, the king will enrich him with great riches, and will give him a daughter, and make his father free from Israel. I don't know about you, but if I had a chance to suck on somebody to get some money, so I ain't got to pay no taxes, and get my wife, watch your jaw. I'm telling you. Watch your jaw. I'm telling you. I don't ever have to pay another bill. I don't ever have to worry about nothing. My house is taken care of, and I get a beautiful woman. Man, well, I'm coming for you. And they knew this. They knew this. Now watch this. Watch the exact words David said. And David spake to the men that stood by him, saying, what exactly do I get? Are you telling me if I kill this Philistine and take away the reproach from Israel, I'm going to get these three things? Then he says, for who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the God? Two things in that right there. One, he knew that Goliath didn't go to a urologist. He had some issues. That means he was outside the covenant. He ever had a covenant with God. That's what it said. He says he called him uncircumcised. He said, so he didn't go to doctors. I know that. And therefore, since he didn't go to doctors, that means he doesn't have the Abrahamic covenant that the Israelites had. Because all the Abrahamic covenant people were circumcised. So therefore, they had a covenant. Because they had a covenant. And then two, look at the word shift. Look at the kingdom language. He says, I know who I am. I got a right perspective on who I am and who you are. I am in the army of the living God. I am one of the armies of the living God. And you are an uncircumcised Philistine. Just as well as he was calling them the army of Saul. You see that? He said, just in that word alone, I got the right perspective on who I am and who you are a giant in my life. What are you calling your giants? Are you calling them what God calls them? Are you calling them what the word of God says that they are? You can't go around playing with certain things at night and calling her boo, baby mama. Think about it. If you marry and you're in a relationship, if you outside of that, that's called adultery. I'm calling it what God calls it. He says, look at his language. His language is, I'm calling what God called it. And it was a worship. He just wasn't a Philistine, he was an uncircumcised Philistine. And the Israelites wasn't serving the Sauls, they were the army of the living God. David had the right kingdom perspective. Saul and the armies were afraid because they saw a conflict between their muscles and Goliath's muscles. He says, of their weapons against Goliath's weapons, of their experience in warfare against Goliath's experience in warfare. But David saw the conflict as God and the forces of evil. Saul and his men saw Goliath as though he was too big and we can't beat him. But David said, hey man, I see you as you too big, boy, and I can't miss you. I can't miss you. That's why he looked at him. He said, hey, you're too big, I can't miss you. I can't miss you. He said, so we must understand that when David was really calling Goliath an uncircumcised Philistine, I want you to get this analogy. When you're in covenant, that means you have a covering. And he understood that Goliath didn't have a covering. So now we're children of the Most High God. We have a covenant with God. Amen? So, because I have a covenant with God, if I do what I'm supposed to do based on the book, I have the covering of God. Now, I can have a covenant of God and be out of the covering of God. That happens. But this is what David was saying. No. I have a covenant with God. I have a covering with God. You, my man, you have neither one. So therefore, I'm covered by the covering. So I'm good. It's like an umbrella when it rains. It's good if you have it up and it's pouring on your head. It's covering you. But if you take that umbrella down, close it, walk with it while it's raining, yeah, you have the covenant, but it ain't covering you. That's all I said. Yeah, I have a covenant, but I'm not using it for covering.
That's good, buddy.
So, and the real question is, you can be in covenant with God and sometimes close to the covering. You can be in proximity of the covering and not necessarily be covered too. And that goes for like some of the people that's in your family and it's in your house. You know, Job, won't you just curse God and die? In Job 2:9. And with that being, to me that says, hey listen man, your family members who are close to you also could be in your house. They can be in covenant with you and miss the covering altogether. And you miss the covering altogether. If you want to take on your giants in life, you must begin calling what God calls it. You will not conquer it if you don't see things the way God sees things. Now look at this. And even if you call things the way God sees it, look at what Joseph's brothers did. Verses 28 and 29, right? He did say, hey man, why are you down here? Why are you being so newsy? Basically, we know your heart. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're down here being newsy. You're down here being newsy. But look what Jesus says in Matthew 10:36. When you know you're on a divine assignment by God, those closest to you can be the ones sometimes causing you to trip up and fail. He says, a man's enemies will be members of his own home. A man's enemies will be members of his own home. They were his brothers talking to him like that, not realizing he was on a godly assignment by his father. To defeat your giants, we need unlimited faith, perspective, mindset. To defeat our giants, we need an unlimited faith, perspective, mindset. Now this is my definition of what mindset is and what unlimited faith is, and I merge the two together. So a mindset to me is a fixed mental attitude that predetermines a person's response. A fixed mental attitude that predetermines a person's response. Now, by having a renewed mind that has shifted over to believing the scripture first and that God is able. So to me, an unlimited faith perspective mindset is only but a fixed mental attitude that predetermines a person's response by having a renewed mind that has shifted over to believing the scripture first and that God is able. So if you read verse 31, it says, and when the works were heard which David spake, he rehearsed them before Saul and sent out for him. Sent out for David. Saul sent for David. So that tells me that David was going around with already a predetermined response, a kingdom response. And he was speaking to every person in the camp that would listen to him and saying, yo, he's going to give it to me. But what I want you to know is I'm ready to fight. Now, I'm a police officer, and y'all all know this, and we are a paramilitary group. So what that means is basically we derive a lot of our authority in the structure that we do from the military. So if anybody's been in the military, you can attest to this, that there is no way that a man in boot camp is going to the admiral, sit in his office and have a conversation with him, right? It's just not happening. It's just not happening. Now, for Saul to have heard what David was rehearsing to the guys, who brought it to him? Who brought it to Saul? Saul is the king of the army. Who brought it to Saul? You think about it, it had to be a general in the army. So David's words were so penetrating that it made it from the foot soldiers to some leaders, and then from the leaders to the general overseer, and from that general overseer to the king. Think about it. Think about it. His words were so penetrating. His mindset was so predetermined that what I'm saying to you is going to get to the man. Think about that. Think about that. He said that it was so penetrating and it's so predetermined. Saul said, I need to see who's talking now, because nobody in my army was saying anything that he was saying. Nobody in my army was saying anything such as, I can whoop on him. Nobody was saying it. The unlimited faith mindset comes in when we live by faith and not by sight. Unlimited faith mindset sees giants as opportunities and not obstacles. Unlimited faith mindset sees giants, pink slips, as promotion and not devotion. Unlimited faith mindset sees struggles as strengths. Unlimited faith mindset calls problems to be solutions. Today, my encouragement to you, to some of you, is work your unlimited faith mindset. Work it. Work it today. Work it. You need to really understand that once you have the mind of Christ that was in Christ Jesus, everything and anything is limitless. Amen? I'm going to give you 6 steps, and I'm going to get out your hair. I promise you. 6 steps to helping you defeat your giants and build your faith mindset. If you got a pencil, number 1, ignore your doubts. Number 1, the key thing is to ignore your doubts. Ignore your doubts. Verse 33 says, and Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against the Philistines to fight with them, for thou art but a youth, and he is a man of war from his youth. Saul still don't understand who he is. Saul don't understand who he has in front of him. Saul don't understand who his giants are. But ignore your doubts. Ignore your doubts. You gotta ignore your doubts. Like Nia said that day when she was up here, shake that off. Yeah. Shake that off. You have to ignore your doubts and tell them, listen, man, get out of my ears. I'm not trying to hear that. If somebody tell you it's not time for you to start school, if it's assignment, start school. That's right. Ignore your doubts. You have to ignore your doubts to move where God's calling you to. Number 2, count your wins. Count your wins. Verses 34 and 35 says, and David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep. And there came a lion and a bear and took a lamb out of the flock. And when I went out after him and smote him and delivered it out of his mouth, and when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard and smote him and slew him. 36 says, thy servant slew both the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine should be as one of them, seeing he has defied the armies of the God, still knowing who he is. But count your wins. No matter how big or how small, count your wins. No matter what it looks like, count your wins. Because this is what that does. It gives proof of your ability and qualifies you. It gives proof of your ability and definitely qualifies you. Count your wins. Number 3, talk to yourself like a champion. Talk to yourself like a champion. David talked to himself like a champion. In verse 36, if you look at it in 37, he says, and David said, moreover, the Lord that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hands of this Philistine. And Saul said unto David, go, the Lord be with you. Right? Think about it. If you talk to yourself like a champion, it's been proven. It's been proven neurologically that if you think positive thoughts, positive things happen. However, if you talk out loud positive things, your thought process is like an instantaneous thought process. It changes your thought immediately. That's why when we read the Word of God, we should read it out loud. We talk about getting the atmosphere created. You understand? When we go into praise and worship, you can do that. You can do that silently if you want to, but when you create the atmosphere, instantaneously thought processes, it changes immediately. One of the greatest boxers of all times, believe it or not, was a paradox in the ring. Believe it or not, he wasn't big enough. He wasn't strong enough, and then when they had the tails and the tape measurement, and that's basically when they get the guys up there, they put their hands up, and they basically say your arm length is this, and your body weight is this. He felt all those all the time. He felt every last one of them. Every boxer he went up against, they were technically better than him. But he said stuff like, I'm the greatest. The champ is here. If you think you can beat me, you better wake up. That's what he said every time Muhammad Ali walked into somewhere. He told you, the champ is here. The champ is here. You can't beat me. You can't beat me. He said that every time. But technically, he should have lost. But his mind was conditioned. His mind was conditioned. You ain't gonna beat me. He says, talk to yourself like a champ. That's what David did. That's what David did. Number 4, forgo fleshly rewards. Forgo the fleshly rewards. Forgo. 38. And Saul armed David with his armor, put on his helmet of brass upon his head, and he also armed him with the coat of mail. And verse 39 says, and David girded up his sword upon his armor, and he basically was going to go out with Saul's stuff on. And so he said, hold on. Man, I can't wear this. This wasn't made for me. Oftentimes, when we're on a godly assignment, we take on some other stuff that was never intended to be for us. We put that burden on us. That's why the word says, take my yoke upon you, because my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Stop carrying stuff that is not ordained for you. You're taking on that stuff, you're putting on that helmet, you're putting on that sword. He's like, whoa, hold up. What does it look like if I brought Joshua up here and put this coat on? It's dragging around. And believe you me now, we would be telling a different story if David went out there with Saul's equipment on and did his own stuff. And think about it, to put on his equipment is to put on his mindset. Good. To put on his equipment is to put on his mindset. That's good. David would have went out there and been slaughtered. He would have been slaughtered. Galatians 5:17 says this. It says, for what the flesh wants is opposite to the spirit. And what the spirit wants is opposite for the flesh. They are opposed to each other. And so do you. Do not what you want to do. Basically, that's what that's saying is, hey, listen, man. If I sent you on a godly assignment, I need you to do this. Sometimes your flesh wants to pull you to go do that. But they are always going to fight and tussle with each other. They're always going to fight and tussle with each other. But understand that you had a divine assignment to slay this giant. And you need to stay focused because the best is yet to come. When you stay in the will of God and in the presence of God, you will get revelation and strategy for warfare. David picked up 5 stones. We know the story. But think about it. David was an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. So, they were warriors by nature. They were so skillful with that stone and that slingshot. They can be on point, from my understanding and my research, about a good 50, 75 yards and hitting it on target. 75 yards. Listen, I shoot guns. I can't hit a broadside of a barn at 25 yards. Sometimes. But with a rock and a slingshot, and I'm swinging it around, and I'm going to let it go 75 yards and smack you dead on his head at 75 yards. You don't know how skillful that is? So something tells me David didn't need 5 stones. He didn't need 5 stones. So I said, Lord, he says, Raheem, that's how he talks to me. I talk to him back. Why 5 stones? He says, I want you to go keep reading. So I'm reading 1 Samuel. And now I'm in 2 Samuel. I'm saying, Lord, I'm still reading. I'm tired. That's how I talk to him. I'm laughing, but that's how I talk to him too. He wakes y'all up in the middle of the night. He said, talk to me. You say, God, thank you, Jesus, and you're back to sleep. But think about it. He brought me all the way to 2 Samuel 21 and verse 22. Come to find out, there were some more giants that David and his crew had to meet.
Oh, come on. Wow.
There were some more giants. And sometimes when he gives us an assignment for here, and I'm preparing you for an assignment for here, you don't understand that I already have something down here for you that you're going to need that same assignment for. He said, so I gave you something here in the beginning, and you put it in, and you used one part of it, but there's other parts of that assignment or other parts of that strategy that I'm going to need you to use, but you don't realize what is needed for now. But God says, listen, that ain't for you right now, but that very well may be for us. When you get down there, when you meet them 6 chapters over, 3 verses down, and 2 words to the right, he said, hey, listen, I got 5 stones, but I'm only going to use 1 now. Think about that. I'm skilled, but yet I got something in strategy and warfare that you're going to need later for him. So sometimes the things that we get, God gives us now, and we use part of it, don't put it up on the shelf and forget about it. Don't put it up on the shelf and forget about it. Think about it. He said, if you read for yourself in 2 Samuel 21, verse 22, there was 4 more giants that he had to come up against. Him and his men came up against 4 more giants. But the beautiful thing is, guess what David didn't do by that point? He had to use his rocks. He already created a position of leadership that he already had men ready to rock and roll for. The men of valor. Amen? Number 5. Give it to God. It sounds easy, but give it to God. 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 Verses 43 says, and the Philistine said unto David, am I a dog that thou comest to me? Was basically sticking. The Philistines cursed David by his God. Goliath cursed David by his God. That's funny to me. Small g. Verse 43. And the Philistine said to David, come to me, and I will give thee the flesh unto the fowls, and to the hares, and to the beasts of the field. He's taunting them. And then David said to the Philistine, thou comest to me with a sword, and the spear, and the shield, but I come with these. Basically, I come with the name of the Lord of the hosts, of God, of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied. Understanding, when you're on a godly assignment, you got the right perspective, the battle is never yours. The battle is never yours. Think about it. David kind of laughed when he said, oh, wait a minute. You just told me I don't have to fight you with my hands. Because he says, I curse you with my gods. So the light bulb went off in David's head and said, oh, okay. Since you cursed me with your gods, guess what I got? I got a God of all gods. I got a King of kings. I got a Lord of lords. I got somebody that's above everybody. And since you want to fight that fight, my daddy's bigger than your daddy. So my daddy's going to beat your daddy up. That's what he said. He didn't say, okay, Goliath, I'm going to come out there and fight you in my own strength. He says, no. He says, oh, the gods of the armies of Israel, whom you defy. He never said nothing about himself. He never said a word about himself. He said, this is just getting spiritual. I thought you, I know where we fighting at. Now we're speaking the same language. And because my daddy's bigger than your daddy, you know how that goes back in the day. I'm going to get my daddy. That's why my daddy can beat your daddy. Because my daddy's bigger than your daddy. And your daddy can... That's what he just did. That's exactly what he just did. That's exactly what he just did. Understand that the battle is not yours. It's the Lord's. It's God's. Give it to God. Number 6. Did I say 6 or did I say 5? Oh, good. I said 6. Okay. Act boldly. Act boldly. I used to box. Verse 46 to 48. Basically, David tells them what I'm going to do to you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put the rock on your shoulder. I'm going to knock yours off before you realize you're going to be on the ground. I'm going to take your head and I'm going to feed it to the fowls and all that stuff. And then in verse 43, he basically says this. And it came to pass that when the Philistine arose and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hastened and ran towards the army to meet the Philistine. I'm saying, let's say it. I used to box. They used to tell me, my coach used to tell me, he's getting tired, close the gap. At that point, if you throw it when you're tired, you have no real concept of really distance. You just kind of just throwing haymakers. So every time you throw a haymaker, that's what it's doing. It's not hitting you. But when I closed that, now if I stood back and didn't close the gap, throw a haymaker. Boy, don't you. If I stood back and he threw a haymaker, he's gonna catch me. But if I close that gap good enough, I'm tearing his body up. I'm uppercutting. He's tired. He can't do nothing. I closed the gap. And that's exactly what David did. David said, yo, I got you now. I understand that. Wait a minute. Steps 1 through 5 were done. I gave it over to God. All I gotta do now is close the gap and take your head off. Thank you. And that's exactly what he did. He closed the gap. He says, I know I got you now. I might not physically got you, but spiritually, I got you. I got you now. I got you. He didn't procrastinate. He ran towards his destiny. See, he said some giants won't fall by prayer alone. You need to understand that. Some giants just don't fall by prayer alone. But we need to get our slingshots together, get it rammed up, and let one loose so hard and so fast, they don't even know where to hit them. Bow! That's what he's saying here. Act boldly. Close the gap and act boldly. Because we need to understand that God hasn't given us a spirit of fear. He has not given us a spirit of fear. In Romans 8:31 it says, that when shall we say in response to these things? And these things to me was the giants. What do we say to them? If God is for us, who? And that who is your giant. Whatever that giant is in your life, you name it right there. Who? If God be for us, if God be for us, who can be against us? Who? And you know what? In my opinion, it's a great story, but it doesn't end there. It doesn't end right there. Something so more, in my opinion, when I read this chapter, happened miraculously, and I didn't catch on to it until I read it like the third time. You know the rest of the story. David did exactly what he said he was going to do. We know David didn't have a sword, so he had to get one off of Goliath. He told him personally that I'm going to take your sword and I'm going to cut your head off. We know that, right? So he picked up his 5 stones, he had a slingshot, he went out there with a stick in his little pouch. What was David's sword? The sword that he uses on Goliath, right? All right. So he picked up his heavy sword, heavy heat in his head, from how many yards out? I don't know. And he took his head off. Right? So now he has a sword, he has his head. The truth was, if I beat you, your house comes serve me. If you beat me, my house comes serve you. What did they do? When your daddy beat up my daddy, we all go run in the house. We take off running, right? That's what they did. The miraculous thing to me, it says in verse 53. Verse 53. And the children of Israel returned from chasing the Philistines, and they spoiled their tents. This is what I want you to get out of this. Let me change your perspective. There are things that are attached to you. There is a destiny. There is a purpose. There are things that are attached to you that some of your family members and some of your friends, some of the things that are supposed to come get from you, they won't get it. You know why? You won't defeat your giant. The verse says, after they came back, they spoiled their tent. That means that once David did his job, got his godly assignment, he stayed in his lane, he defeated Goliath, everybody else got a release. The whole camp got a release because he stayed to his godly assignment. How many people was attached to Hud that Hud said, I'm not going to defeat that. I can't release this generation. How many people are attached to you that God is saying, hey, listen, I need you to defeat that giant because, man, you got a whole thing back here waiting. They anticipate. They like that angel's like, oh, come on, man, put me to work, put me to work. They won't move, and they can't move because you won't defeat your giant. He says, they spoiled the tent. David didn't even take part of that. I stayed in my godly assignment, I did what I was supposed to do, and I released a whole generation behind me. A whole army was released by what David did. Beloved, in closing, I really am closing. I can stand up. I can stand up. Knowing that God has something attached to you. God has an assignment for you. God